Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to another episode on the Coin King channel. It's your girl down to Crypto TA. Um, on Wednesdays, I do not stream on Wednesdays, so I'm sorry I missed you guys on Wednesday. But I am back today. Apparently, we had some pretty good numbers yesterday. Help foster a bit more of a move here with altcoins as well as Bitcoin. Nice bounce off of everything we looked at on Tuesday, which was we had the bear divs coming up, and I said one more drop down and then a pop. So we got that. We got that one drop down and then that pop. All right, so this is still holding up in here. I'm gonna tell you right now, and I started to tweet out on this right here yesterday, but there is the potential, and I actually highlighted this over here for us to come back into where you see my cursor at right here. So all the way down into here, like the midpoint of this range right in here. That's what we would be looking at for Bitcoin. So it does have the potential to push all the way back down into there. I really don't want to see it come back down to the low part here of this daily range in here. I would hate to see that simply because I don't like when you just keep knocking on something. You keep knocking on something, eventually somebody answers the door and lets you in, right? And we don't want the door to be open. This over here, I wanted to wait until I streamed again to tell you that I'm going to move this right here. I'm no longer going to be looking at this 99. I'm actually going to be looking a bit lower down. So it's going to be somewhere between about 95 and 85. It's going to be something like that. I know that sounds crazy. I'm not saying it's going to happen right now, but in terms of this one right here, I would no longer be aspiring for us to come down here and hold around this 99. It's just not the thing right now that I'm seeing. I'm really just seeing it. And I know that we do still have that gap down here too, but I'm just seeing something that suggests that we could get down there around that 95 to 85. All right, so I'm going to move this. I'll probably do it later on, but I have filled you in and I have let you know that. So made that clear. All right, so in here, you can see we hit our 4 hour level in here to the dollar, it looks like in here. So, yeah, we just kind of stalled out right in here once we got into this level. I know quite a bit of people are actually looking for somewhere around, I think people are looking for us to get up into this one right here. Now on my and this could be nice. This could actually end up being like some sort of an inverse head and shoulder. Now on this over here, I have us coming up and getting above these highs over here. How likely that is to happen, I can't tell you that is for sure what's going to happen. But if you did get into the long position or whatever, be sure you're taking some profit along the way. Very important. Take some profit along the way. All right. So I actually highlighted the zone out here. So on the 1 hour, you can see it here. So it's these highs in here. So on a push back down for Bitcoin, if we do continue to push in, and this will be the zone right here that we want to see price be able to cap out at to the downside, and then be able to get the push back up and try to continue this thing in here. We were putting in some bear deals in here, just kind of going sideways right around in here. And then we ended up breaking this little trend line right here, and then this was the final trend line in here for us to break right here. So I don't honestly see the momentum shifting just yet. Maybe just want to check something. Maybe we could. I mean, we got 1, 2, 3 green candles in here already. We could be trying to shift some momentum in here, but I'm feeling like maybe that's just maybe we just come back up into this trend line right here, and then we reject back down. Now this in here, let me see. Let me drop this to these two for now. All right, so golden pocket. And this is pulled from the absolute low. This is around that 109. This is one of those levels in here that I was watching on Tuesday. I said I wasn't looking for a V-shaped recovery. We actually ended up getting a V-shaped recovery. I wasn't looking for a V-shaped recovery though. And then we talked about, I said I would like this right here. So it was going to be this line here. Either we got to bounce from there, or we took out the liquidity from here coming into the golden pocket. And I said somewhere in here, or it would have to be this one down here. So, I mean, nice candle move off of that. Honestly, just really, really nice. And that kind of like back tested the, let me turn this off for a minute. Um, so we can see almost drop back down here into our low of the daily range in here. Almost. But again, I'm scared for us to continue knocking on the door down here. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I really don't need this anymore. So I'm just going to delete this one. I don't really need it. And I don't actually need this one anymore either. Can still look at the 786 over there if push comes to shove. But like I said, we don't want to be floating around down here anywhere. So we're gonna be watching this today. See, kind of just see what happens. See what we get. I did post up on Crow, and it looks like we hit some resistance on that. We didn't even, and that was with Ethereum as well. Okay, so here's Crow right here. So we didn't manage to take out this high in here. We didn't manage to do that. So far I've just drawn a fib in here, and I added the 382 because it's really nice if you can get to the 382 and you can bounce. It's much more of a shallow pullback, and it, when it indicates that it might be a little bit more bullish than you think if you get a bounce, or you're more bullish. Let me put it like that. If you get a bounce around the 382, we did slip to that 382, so we probably came into more like the 50 or something like that in here. But I'm just gonna leave this in here and let it do what it does. This was the extension right here, and this is where we were the other day when I entered into a long position on it. I've been contemplating on this one, to tell you the truth. I really have. Like, I like the 4 hour. I really like the 4 hour. 4 hour just sort of suggests that there is more in store for it. But the fact that we didn't take this liquidity up here, that just kind of made me feel a little sus about things right now. But I mean, just wait and see. So I was looking for us to take this out. This was the max I was looking for to be, about around 30 was what I was looking for in here. But I'm no longer in Crow right now. Not at the moment. Just sitting on the sidelines, waiting to see what happens. I know that we do have some data coming out this morning, and have to see how that impacts the market. Now, Ethereum. Actually, let me just open this back up here and just go to Ethereum chart real quick here. All right, so Ethereum did something very similar, what I was saying. So right in here, you can see how we did not manage to push up and take out the liquidity in here. We didn't do it. We had all this chisel top in here, and you would think that price would come up and be able to snatch that. It couldn't do it. It couldn't do it. I don't know what that means for you, but for me, I don't like it. I don't like it because we didn't do it. I did the same thing over here with with Ethereum, where I just did the golden pocket 786, and I also added the 382 in here, which didn't even do the 50 right there. And this is pulled from down here. You could probably do something more so like this right here, and you can look for price to come back in and tap around here. This is initially how I had it, because I saw that price had the ability to pull back down into here, just to this point in here. But now I'm just feeling something a little bit different right now. So I'm gonna look for us to back test here into this daily range top right in here, and it just happens to line up with where the golden pocket is if I draw it from the complete bottom. But we are getting a little bit of a bounce in here right now. We do have bear divs on these pushes up at the moment, so bear divs tend to lead to a reversal. Did you hear that? A bear div tends to lead to a reversal. It actually does, because you'll get the bear divs coming up, and then you'll get another push down, and you'll be looking for that bull div. I don't know. It's a weird thing, but yeah. If we push up right now on Ethereum, and let me put this on the 1 hour, just a sec, so I can see CC CC here. What was I just looking at? It's somewhere in here. Yeah, we probably wouldn't do any more than come back up into here. Come back up into probably do something like that. Yeah, we pushing up. We probably do something like this and get a rejection. I like to see some bullish divergence come in here. I mean, like fresh bullish divs to come in. Don't have that right now. Hold up, sorry. I thought I had to sneeze. I did. It disappeared on me. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, this is about what I'll be looking for right now here with Ethereum. Just coming back up in here. It's at 44.12, about 44.12. I'm gonna just slide this back up here, just to be clear. Yeah, we really didn't want to take that liquidity up there. We didn't. It's okay. It's okay. Get them next time, partner. Get them next time. All right. Now we are, you can't see it from here. I'm probably not going to put that on. We are starting to get some courage here on the 1 hour time frame. Like, so with the MACD Delta, we are like right in here. You can see that, that orange. So we're starting to get a little bit of, sorry, that's a red. That's an extremely light red. I need to change that because it's very conflicting for me. I need to change that. Nothing here on the MACD just yet, but the delta is starting to curve out. So the delta is trying to curve up in here at the moment. I just added my own little moving average that I created. I just added that on here, and I actually like it. I like it a lot. It works pretty good. But anyway, below the zero. We just have to wait on this one, on this 1 hour. I don't like the RSI right now on the 1 hour. I know that we were pretty extended on the 15-minute time frame. I know that, and I know we look a little bit better over here on the 15. So you can see how we got some nice orange going on in here with the MACD. And then the delta is green. The delta is above zero, which officially just means that the MACD is above its signal line. If you had the actual signal line in here, will mean that it's above that. I try to capture things a little bit early because MACD can be slow sometimes. So that's what I'm trying to do in here. So like I said, bear divs on the rise, but that would just indicate that we get another push down and then probably a bounce from that. But a much better looking RSI over here. If we flip down right here, it'll be some problems. It would be some problems right there for Ethereum. Sorry, I was just trying to see something like what we're trying to hold down here. We really do want to hold that for Ethereum. I mean, like I said, we could come back down into here. I'm pretty sure we'd be back into some sort of a oversold state or something like that as we were in here. You can see we got pretty oversold down to here. Same thing for back over in here. Ooh, I like that. I like that. I'm gonna be watching this little blue line down here today. That's 23.58. Because we came down here around it a few times and we bounced off of it a few times. And if we don't bounce and we come back up, that's a trigger. I like that. All right. So anyway, 23.58 RSI Coinbase chart. Keep that in mind. I'm going to take a look at the rest of the market a little bit in here. I just want to check back on Bitcoin real quick. I'm going to take Crow chart because I prefer this pane over here. Flip to a 4. Alright, let's see, XRP. A lot of the altcoins really just didn't bounce that much. Just really didn't. I'm so tired of having to extend this out all the time, but I have to extend it out. So, yeah, we didn't even, did this even come to the midsection? It didn't even come to the midsection of this. Yeah, I guess it just came back up into it. Yeah, it just hit the midpoint in here. And rejected from in there. So not a lot of stuff is gonna change. Not a lot of stuff is gonna change. We push up, not just be looking at 302. So no major changes. I'm just gonna flip through them. If something stands out, we'll talk about it. Solana. Got kicked out of its range. So let me see, is this, no, this is from the other day right here. We dropped back into the golden pocket. So that's what that is there. I'm just gonna extend this up now. Do it like that. I don't know what we're wrestling with the most in here at this range for Solana. It just seems to be really difficult to get to this 227 right now. But Solana nonetheless, I mean, it's a great looking chart. But I mean, we're still in this larger range in here. Struggling. Let me see. It shouldn't be too much of a battle in here, to be honest with you. It just shouldn't be too much of a battle in here for Sol. This level is not the. I mean, yeah, we shouldn't be struggling like this right in here. Not down here. Like, we should have at least been able to come back up in here to this 227. And even then, your greater resistance was going to be in here. More so than where it is in here. But I guess I could see it. I guess I could see it. I mean, still working on trying to get to 227. And if we're not getting there, then it looks like we got a nice little regression line right here along the bottom side of Solana, and we can see it break down. And that would probably be, yeah, pushing us back into here. But there is this nice little regression line. Let me just do it like that. Probably, let me try it like this first, and let me see what we got. Yeah, I actually like it like that better. So that will require us to slip this daily in here. So if we were to slip the daily in here, then that probably would roll us over on this trend line right here. And then and probably look for this golden pocket 786 in here. Again, back down here into this 188, 164 range in here for SOL. It's gonna, let me just say, don't dismiss that. Yeah. Let me check something here on the daily. Yeah, we're just RSI just whips on in here. So nothing really clear in there. Nothing really as clear in here. You can see how the MACD is just real choppy all the way up through here, and the delta is pretty much tagging out around the zero line a lot, just hanging out in here. So that's usually some sort of an explosive move happening. It just hangs on to the zero line like that. It's not really clear whether or not that would be up or down. Down. That would be down. That would be losing the 20 SMA. That would be down. Let's see if that's actually running in line with this trend line right here. It might be, no, it may be up here a little bit more. It may be where this golden pocket is or something like that, but we're going to see. We're going to see. I'm just going to hide that. How am I going to hide that? And then we're going to see if it's running in. Running with that trend line, right? How am I going to hide it? And we're going to check and see if it's running with the trend line. Special people like myself. So I wasn't too far off. I said it's probably in here. So yeah, like I said, we dropped that daily. Then we probably will roll over on this trend line right here, and then we drop back in down here around this golden pocket or something like that. Golden pocket 786. So I guess that'll be the goal right now on SOL. Stay above here. I don't think that there's anything special in here, right? Nothing close to the 20 SMA in here for the 4-hour time frame. That's it. Sui. I don't know why I dragged this out so far the other day. For Sui, and it looks like we came straight to the top. Straight to the top. And these are the ones that I decided to keep on. They were more important. All right, so we're back out of this again. I really wonder how likely it is that Sui would get down here to this 262. We've done it before already, so I don't. casually see us dropping back down there into it. All right. I mean, obviously, any sort of a pushback down. I mean, it'd be nice if we could just bounce off of this trend line. If we do start to come down a little bit more here on SUI. Gosh, why am I feeling like we're just gonna roll over today? So SUI is one of those that did not get any bullish divergence on that 4 hour. A lot of them did get the bull div on the 4 hour. SUI did not get any bullish divergence on this 4 hour time frame. Got a bear div on it right now. But it can outplay the bear div. By pushing back up into this one, that's about 350. Yeah, we're probably gonna roll over today, guys. That may be what we're going to do. I hate to say that. I can so be wrong. I'm gonna move this just to see what that hit exactly. Nothing. The daily for SUI is starting to look better though. It is definitely something that if I was accumulating a spot position, yeah, if I was throwing some money into it, I would be accumulating a spot position on it. Where it is now on the daily, it's not bad. And so your 20 SMA must be right across those 2 points in there for a Bollinger breakout. I'm gonna put that back just so I can see. Yeah, that was spot on. So that's where your Bollinger breakout is. Let me just check one other thing here on SUI. Just wanted to see. Okay, so we are holding the dynamic cloud low. So basically, really, as long as that's a nice little regression across here. I'm gonna move this. I'm actually gonna utilize this right here instead. Just I'll be able to check for a momentum break here on SUI. I may be able to even drop that one in. I can see that in here. So you flipping back down whatever that was in there. As long as we continue to hold, like you see how we tap down here at this is 315. As long as we continue to hold within here and price isn't starting to lose this right here, like that wick was fine. We start closing outside of this 315, then you might have some problems here with SUI. But if price just pulls back in here just a little bit, even just a little bit more in here, I would say, like I said, I think SUI's daily time frame looks pretty decent. If you're somebody who doesn't leverage trade or something like that, and you're interested in getting SUI on spot position, I think you're in a great place for it right in here. I do. I think that's a great place for it. So we do start, like I said, we do start closing outside of 315. You could have some problems in here, and we could see SUI start to come down and hit some of these lower targets in here that it hasn't seen in a while, like the 262 or the 228 to 219, maybe taking out this little liquidity in here, something like that. But otherwise, if it just maintains throughout here, then I think that the chart is pretty decent. So I'm gonna move on from SUI, daily time frame on that and BNB. Let me turn this off now. So nothing's changed in here on BNB either. It's basically been somewhere around about that daily, this 4 hour and this 4 hour. Nothing's really changed over here on this one. I'm gonna move on. ADA. And this may have had the same thing going on that SUI had going on. Let me just see. No, it doesn't. It's all the way underneath that cloud. And so at least it's a great talking point, a good example of what I'm saying, like with SUI. So you can see how we came down and we wicked down here on the low of the dynamic cloud. We got to push back up. I would have been telling you, hey, as long as we're not trading underneath that, it would have moved. So that number would have changed. But eventually, when you start losing it, start trading, closing candles underneath it, you eventually succumb to it and you start to roll over. So ADA at the moment. And this is what I was saying that we wanted to hold in here. I'm just actually going to change this text. Whatever that is. Flip. All right. So basically just another one that did not take out, this was the closest little pivot in here and we didn't take it out. I don't know what uh-oh. I deleted a letter and I forgot my short key. So, um, so with ADA, I don't really need. I'm gonna hide this. I don't really need that to show because it lines up with this right here. So with ADA, um, we are still above this VWAP in here right now. Nothing has changed in here either. If we do get the push up here on ADA, I mean, yeah, we got to get from up under these lows in here. So we want to flip that. That'll push us back into the cloud. And maybe even we'll be back on top of that if we start to push in a little bit more. I still, say 78 to 72. Like potentially losing this this VWAP in here. I mean, just look at our daily. Yeah, we're not ready on the daily. Sui looks much better on the daily. But Sui's been down a little bit more. Cardano's been performing a bit better here. So, yeah, I don't like the daily. I don't like any of it. You're holding up on the RSI in here. So you're still above this signal line in here, but you can always still slip that. MACD and Delta look exhausted. So you can see where you would be looking for a push up, to break above this, a closure outside of this trend line right here. So if you ever see me do it like this, then just do understand. Ooh, hold on. I'm sorry. I can't have that. I cannot have that. Now that makes more sense. Whatever faster trend line you had in here, you've already broken that. So you could have done a faster one throughout here. But this main one right here, I just saw that with the line bias, we were inside, like we were, it was crossing through that line. Don't want to see it like that. So it makes more sense in here now for me. So a closure, yeah, I mean back above in here, you got to, because that would also mean taking out, right now, even this pivot, but yeah. Taking out the highs across here and the lows within here and getting above here. And then, yeah. So if you're not above here, you're probably going down. Get above here, then you can get a push back up into these regions in here. And then we'll look to see what else it'll do. I don't like the daily. I don't really like the 4 hour right now. So my bias is a little bit to the downside here for ADA. But that's just my bias. We have the levels to watch and just see how things turn out from there. I bought some more H-bar actually. I bought more H-bar. And I will be adding to this. I want to be a trader. Hey. I'm up. I am up. Yeah, I am up. But I haven't traded too much. But I am up. I traded Crow a lot more than Bitcoin here recently. And so that's been fun. So yeah, I'm up. Right now I'm looking to mess around with Ethereum a little bit. And then I've just been building some spot positions, stuff like that. So I did buy some H bar. I know that we are beneath the VWAP, and I've shared a couple of times in here too about just the three levels in here. So one would have been around the VWAP, and then the bandwidth one, high and low of bandwidth one. So I'm just gonna keep building this position in here on H bar. Hopefully we don't slip too low. Yeah, like we're underneath the what we wanted to continue to hold as support at the moment, which was in line with the VWAP here at that 22,306. Back tested and rejected off of that yesterday. So be looking down in here next around this 20. And if 20 isn't holding, be looking down here at 19. But I am going to be building on this and praying. Praying that it works in my favor. I think H bar is a good one, but even good ones have bad days, right? Bad weeks, bad months, all that good stuff. So that's what I'm gonna be watching here on H bar, Hedera, this 20 next, and then 19. And that's to the downside. If we bounce, I'd be so happy. If we can just get back above this VWAP, that would be absolutely great. But if we get past VWAP, then we have to struggle with 23, and then we get past 23, then I guess we'll just deal with this little trend line in here and try to make our way back up through here. Yeah, really want to get past this bandwidth one in here to the high. We got some work to do. I added this pendle, and I actually did a setup in here for this pendle. It may not. Let me see. I don't like pendles. Let's see if I got it in here. Yeah, I don't like pendles. Was it a daily? I didn't mean to do that. It may have been, honey. It may have been. Put this on a 4-hour. It may have been the daily chart that I was watching or something. I wasn't the biggest fan of, but I'm looking for us to pull back into here. At least this was the initial thought in here around this 458 in here, and that's a 3%. You see that? So understand that. But if we did push into the golden pocket, like I want to see how we react if we do push down into this level first of all before I even consider it, because this is a lot less risky. Hold on, it moved up a little bit. Okay, so yeah, it's a lot less risky if it does drop into the golden pocket and you get the entry off of a golden pocket back test in here. But I kind of like this little thing. I gotta like it. I mapped it out and everything, so I gotta like it. I didn't mark out any levels within here. You do have a weekly momentum in here, so as long as price is holding above this weekly momentum, let's just say like a bigger drop was to happen in here on Pendle on the higher time frame, you want to hold here at this 375. Otherwise, like you just got nothing but space in here. And why do you have nothing but space in there? Oh, yeah, because you had like some crazy freaking move that took place in here. That's why. You got this God candle in here that left this space in here, this big gap throughout here. So, yeah, you push back in here on Pendle, you want to hold in here. Even if you take liquidity and bounce back up, but you want to see a reclaim of this right here. Otherwise, you'd be back down into these levels in here. But I actually like this. I like this for the lower time frame. I don't really like it for the higher time frame, but I like it for the lower time frame. Yeah, the weekly scares the living crap out of me. I don't like the weekly on this. Why are you down? You probably building your position though, and that makes sense. If you're down right now, then that would be the thing because you're building your position. Let's slide this in a little bit more. We're gonna watch this pendle. Gonna watch this pendle. That already looks terrible because if it's not taking this out up here and then we send a drop in here, then yeah. But look at how it just ate up that candle over there. Yeah, you won't keep knocking down here. So if that happens, we'll see what it looks like when it happens. If it looks nice, then I'll probably mess around with it. Floki did what yesterday? Oh, wrong chart. Floki's almost there. Almost there. 8,576.26. Almost there. We'll see. Yeah, we're not looking like, we're not looking too great. In my opinion, today just feels like I don't know, today just feels different. Today feels a lot different. But maybe those numbers come in and it's what people are looking for, and somebody with some money can move the market. But right now, today just isn't feeling glorious. And it's not even the technical stuff, to be honest with you, too much. It's just, I don't know, I just have this icky feeling. Yeah. Chain link. I think we talked about the fact that it's probably rounding out a little bit in here. We put in a couple of bear divs and stuff like that. But, target 1 was hit in here. And then target 2 is still left to be hit. And I think it's still good. Like it came back into it's still within SD 1 and 2. Yeah, you're still within standard deviation 1 and 2. You don't start to slip standard deviation 1 until you break below this weekly level in here, which is at 2143. So the most bullish case scenario would be to continue to hold within these 2 in here and then get the move back up. Let's see. How well have we done every time we got a sell signal? Not a lot of sell signals on the weekly, so that should make it pretty easy. Yeah, as long as we can maintain between the standard deviation 1 and 2 in here, and we're not starting to slip below this 2143, then link is still good, and we're still looking for the next target up here to be hit. Just a little bit of a cool off from the bearish divergence and all of that good stuff that we were putting in, which is not showing up here on this chart right here. So it's fine. The link is fine. Could it have been the daily? Okay, so daily, Let me tell you something. This is just magical because first of all, when I said this is going to be the target in here, like we chiseled right at that. Coincidence, of course. It's just a coincidence that that happened like that. But yeah, that is important. At 21, so 21 432 is the end all be all for Chainlink right now. Or let's just say you get some discounted prices. How about that? Because on the weekly, that put it. Uh, do I need to move this? No, I. Um, Let me see if I should move this. I probably don't have to. For entertainment purposes, we'll say the golden pocket. Let me drop back on the daily and see what we be looking like. So you'd be looking at an expansion coming back down here into this level in here, potentially. Because if you start losing 21 432 here on the daily time frame, then you start breaking down inside of standard deviation 1 and 2 in here. And I I want to be a trader. I did the same thing with Ethereum too. Actually, last night I was tired. I opened up a small position size on Ethereum. I woke up this morning and we totally fell through because that's what I get for trying to long the top. I was supposed to be playing around in the market last night, and then I just passed out, which is never good to be trying to scalp trade or anything like that when you're tired. But yeah, so that's what I have to do right now. I bought in. I bought in on this push down this morning because I mean I didn't put that much into it anyway. But yeah, I'll show you what I did. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna buy off of this candle right here. It was a nice little candle. I'm buy off this candle right here, and I'm gonna see if we can't take out this high up here. And then I fell asleep. I woke up this morning and we were down here. We were down here. So then I'm stuck. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to buy in right here. Gonna have to buy in right here. I showed you where I had this. I actually had this sitting right here. So initially, I was waiting for like us to come into this golden pocket, and then I could see that that wasn't gonna happen. I saw a signal flash to just go ahead and add into it, and I think it was this right here. So we got this fast signal here on the RSI where the RSI crossed above that the fast signal, duh. And so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna add in right there in case we're not tapping into this golden pocket. So yeah, um, I had to do that with Ethereum, but it still looks crappy. Like we're still gonna roll down a little bit more, which is okay. It's okay. I'm sorry, I need to do that like that. If I need to cut it, I'll cut it. But right now, I'm okay. And note to self, don't ever do that again. Everybody has the I don't give a crap moments, and that was one of mine last night. Fun. Yeah, I was exactly the same. Like I've said on here several times, and probably the last words I had on Ethereum is I don't trade it. And then last night I go playing around with it, and now I'm in it. So I have to deal with that. I don't really. I mean, Ethereum is doing okay though. I really don't. I'm not the biggest fan. Um, but it is doing okay. It's doing all right. Hyper liquid. Hold on. Let me go to 4. Yeah, nothing different happened over here either. Like, yeah. Hyperliquid still looks good. I continue to look for it to get back up here to this 49. If it can do that. Um, yeah. Hype looks good. Nothing changed over here. If we're coming down and I continue to look back at this low again, here, and if we don't manage to hold in here, because like I said, you can only hammer away at something so many times. I mean, we haven't been down here a lot, but 1, 2, double bottom down in here, and then is this old or yeah? No, this is still fresh. So you do still have the golden pocket in here, and then below that. Otherwise, 40 cents. And just like this isn't going to keep holding up in here. I just don't see it. And if we do slip, um, you know, through here, then I will be looking at that 20 to the low part down here around 19, where the golden pocket is sitting at. So you have a nice weekly level in here, and then you also have the golden pocket. And for some reason, that doesn't look like it's in sync. And that's weird. I have to check it later. You're trying to hold your 20 SMA right now. You're trying to hold your support on your RSI right now. And you're trying to hold above the 0 line on the MACD. So you at critical. You at where you want to hold that here on Dogecoin. Because it looks like below here, then yeah. I don't know if there are more buyers sitting in here or not, but if there are no more buyers sitting down in here, then like I said, it could slip through. It could slip through the crack. This was the banger right here, but this took forever. And now it looks like it's not even going to deliver. I mean, we can always still do this midpoint. We've tapped into this now, but we could still always do this midpoint. And then that'll be in line with these lows over here. Otherwise, I mean, like here at 63, great place. Here at 44, a great place. That would be really great. For an entry on virtuals. Yeah, they do have an unlimited supply. Um, it's the yeah, it's the staking and all of that good stuff too for Ethereum. But if a lot more corporations are going to come in and they're going to build on Ethereum, then that's going to be a driver for price action. They're not going to let it slip like that. They're not going to let it. Yeah, I doubt that. I doubt that they're going to let it falter too bad. Now, Ethereum, in my opinion, still has the potential to come back down into the 2000 or so. I don't know. All right, so theta. I don't know why I don't have levels in here for theta. And I think I say that every time I come look at this chart. Like, I don't have levels in here and I'm going to do them. And then I never come in and do them. I mean, we just got to keep holding it here on theta. And that's all the way down to 74. When we start to lose that, then, I mean, maybe we can just draw out and see what a potential move in here would be to send prices back down. A measured move, anyway. I like theta. We're just still not making higher highs yet. Injective, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Let me go down here to the bottom. Oh, good Lord. Look at all the chaos I got going on over here. I don't know why, but I do. And y'all see that, right? Let me delete this. I don't know what this is. I don't know what idiot did that. That was wild. I really hate drawing diagonals. Well, thank you, Coin King, for continuing to hold your Ethereum. Sale to the highest bidder. All right, so with I mean, I don't mess with meme coins like that. Let's see that we broke down. So with either holds here, maybe takes out liquidity in here, gets a bounce off of these highs in here, or it drops back down to 36. So it's your one, your two, and then your three right in here for good old whiff. I think that's right though. I think isn't Ethereum's supply, I think you're right though. Oh, it's deflationary now, says the Coin King. Okay. That just tells you how much we care. That just tells you how much we care about it. In other news, that's not Ethereum. I'm just playing. Ethereum's good. Ethereum's a good. I mean, it's ETH. It's the Godfather. Who is this? Kyber Network. You know what? This doesn't matter. I'm gonna take that away. And see, this wasn't even drawn off of the absolute wick in here. I did it off of the body just because I'm extra. If I move this, like it's all underneath that. If I move it, it just doesn't make sense if I move it. So it might be useless. 0.886 probably be in here somewhere. It's useless. I'm gonna just go ahead and delete that. So you got these highs in here, but you really don't have anything else. Kyber. Yeah, and Kyber held in here a few times throughout with the rejection. So yeah, if it's not hanging out in here, then it'll definitely be back down here around this 29. And I guess that'd be your accumulation down here somewhere. If you break and reclaim, I would have to see it come all the way back up this 29. If it dropped below here, I would have to see it come back up here to even want to mess with it. But there's nothing but space in between all of this right here, with this exception in here. So yeah, you start to lose that, then you are facing coming back down here towards 29 on Kuiper. Immutable X. These are things I haven't had to touch in a minute, and they really haven't changed. I still like Immutable X a lot. So yeah, your accumulation is back down here at 37. Come back down here to 37. I might have to pick some up. I may have to pick some up, and yeah, I'll give her a shot if it comes into here. Some sort of little regression line in here, right over in here. Oh, more important than gold? I hope not. I really hope not. And it's not that something intangible can't be better than something tangible, but I mean it's gold. If the worst crap happened, if the worst happened, and let's just say the internet was gone, gold would still be around. No. Speaking of gold, because I did talk about gold on the channel, but gold broke up out of that freaking level that I had. I was looking at it yesterday too, like, man. Like I wasn't because it was ranging. So gold was sitting in here. I was like, yeah, it's gonna probably come down, but we started coiling. We had this outside bar right here. I'm sorry, this mother bar right here. These inside candles, and we were coiling. And I thought for sure maybe this coiling would lead to us. I mean, look at the rejections. Look. I mean, just look at the top and tails in here. Just look at them. Just look at them. Like we didn't get much off of the bottom though, so I guess that was the telltale that we weren't. Yeah. Anyway, it broke up. It broke to the upside here of this range from this coiling in here. I think this may have been like what I was looking for. Like I wasn't even looking for a lot. I was just looking for it to come back into here, but then it broke to the upside. So now the thing is this just a failed break? Because if it's not a failed break, then I mean that would be my target. 4,000. That would be my target. But it was like the last time gold did something like that, you know, it wasn't successful. And it was around the top side too, where it started ranging. And then it broke down. You're not gonna find that too many other places in here on gold. And when it did it here, it did it in the midsection in here. I don't even know how good it was at actually fulfilling the measure move either. So it did, like it came through when it did it in here. It ranged and it broke down, and it did come just back into target one. It overshot it a little bit right here, but came back up and nonetheless started bouncing off of that target one, or whatever you want to use as your confluence for this right here. So we shall see. And then when it did it over here, it gave way more, but it did come up to this target one, and it reacted at target one, and then it broke, back tested, and then it ran the whole way. So we'll see what happens here with gold if gold is going to get up here to this 4,000. We'll see. I do not have gold. I do not trade gold. I probably should own some gold. Otherwise, this is going to be a false move out. And then I'm just going to be looking for gold to come back down or something. Even had a range in here. That was just kind of crazy how that happened though. But then look at this. Look at this thing right here. It's pinching. It is pinching. As I say southernly, it is pinching though. Will that happen? I mean, we flip tones in here. And see right in here. See how light we got in here? Like we got really light colored in here. So I don't even know how we broke up. I don't know how we got to break to the upside. I mean, other than the dollar being, and that's the range in here. That's that little range in there. That's that. That's that. This is gonna fall. I feel like it is. I don't know, but I got it wrong because I'm not a wizard. I just feel like it'll fall. But congratulations to everybody who's in gold. Yeah. That just stoops me though. At looking to come down. But nope. Okay, and then apparently I had a line in here somewhere too. You still got a cloud cover on the weekly. But maybe it just pushes up through that and just continues. Yeah, continues to go. I'm going to take this away though, because, hold on. Why are you like this? This thing just, this thing just stays in between standard deviation 1 and 2 to the upside. I mean, that's it. It just stays in there. Just stays in there. I don't think it even drops below like the which EMA ribbon is it? Yeah, so you don't even do the 26. You don't even do the 26. Like you touched this 26 one time in here. You didn't tap it right here. You sniffed it. You would have to do 26 to even come into a place where you might tap back into 1 to the downside. Okay, so you just keep bouncing off of your 20 SMA. And then it got a squeeze in here and then it broke to the upside. See, that's okay. So that's the kicker. This squeeze might be the one to send it up here to this 4. If this is real, and this is actually a squeeze, a Bollinger Squeeze breakout, then maybe this will send it up there to that 4. And then we'll have to see how it reacts around there. So just bouncing off of the 20 SMA is all it's done. Bounce, 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 bounce. Interesting. I guarantee you, if I want to play around with this, like the next time it decides it wants to come into the 20 SMA, it'll probably fall right through it. Be like, Shimmy's here. And I keep telling y'all my name. It's Shimmy. I think I said it yesterday. Not yesterday, but the day before. And I'm like, okay, so we're best friends now. It's Shimmy. I go by down to Crypto TA, but it's Shimmy. So, yeah, if it does that, I'm gonna try it. We'll see if it likes me. It may not like me. I'm gonna check back in here on Ethereum real quick, and I'm gonna go back over there to Bitcoin. What's that doing? Okay, so golden pocket 786 rejection here from the other day. It's a couple of days ago. Here on VeChain. Nothing new under the sun here for VeChain either. I don't know why those are in here or why that is like that, or nothing really new here on VET. So if VET start to lose these lows in here, then maybe it can come down in here. It's not a lot down in here. I don't even think I had. Let's see, yeah. I mean, you got this in here. So let's just say you take out this right here, and you bounce off of that. No, I don't like this. I don't know, I probably would prefer that. Yeah. That's cute though. I just really hate drawing diagonals. Especially when nothing actually touches. Now that makes sense. Okay. So just look for a closure back above here. Maybe get above this momentum line right here, or this level here at 0.02370 here for VET. Just want to see a green candle close outside of it. Otherwise, it's still consolidating and down. I don't know how many times you'll be able to bounce from here before you start to slip it. And I guess this 0.22 could be something to look at. It's an order block, so yeah, I guess you can look in there. Or look, yeah, like that, actually. That way I know. So just looking to take that, bounce in here, and not break down below here. For VET, I just need to see if I'm gonna make it or not. It looks like I'm gonna make it. All right, so Ethereum here, 15-minute time frame. It looks like it may have gotten back above the 200 EMA. So it did get back above the 200 EMA right in here, coming into the 1,000 now. And the level that I mentioned earlier, we actually pierced that because I said, was I on the 15-minute or the 1 hour? I think I was on the 1, and I was looking, and I said right in here, didn't I? I did. I said we'd probably come back into here. All right, so we're sort of rejecting right in here right now. We broke it, but theoretically it should be a rejection point. And if it's not, then we'll tap back in here to this low. But this should actually hold up as a rejection point. It wouldn't make sense to me based on what I'm seeing in the chart for us to be able to start closing and pushing up higher through here. I personally probably would open a short position on Ethereum if it came back up here and tapped into this level, because it doesn't make sense from what I'm seeing in the chart for us to be able to do that. You buying the top of gold? I mean, I guess you're right. Hey, Michael Saylor buys the top of Bitcoin. So yeah, I'm gonna have to wait though. I'm gonna have to wait. But gold, I don't know. I've never messed with it before, but if that's a breakout, it's a breakout, and it'll go higher. Maybe I'll try something. But yeah, Ethereum, it should not be pushing through this space. It should not. It doesn't mean go short Ethereum. Doesn't mean short Ethereum from here, but it just shouldn't be pushing through this space. I didn't check this, but let me just see, just to see. It's not supposed to come in here, so I'm not going to entertain a golden pocket or anything like that. But like I said, if it did, I probably would take a short because it doesn't add up. Bitcoin. Basically in the same zone in here. I don't think I saw anything in here for. Yeah, same thing for Bitcoin, because I think what I said in here on Bitcoin was that it could potentially come back up to the trend line in here. But it looks like we're already rejecting. Yeah. So that was about the most it would have been able to do too, was to come back into the trend line here. So that's rejecting. And if it comes back down, then you are wanting to see it hold this candle in here. I guess this candle. Want to see it hold this candle. If it's breaking this candle, then I'm still favorable to this right here. Just based on 4 hour. Yeah, just based on 4 hour. Because the slow momentum stayed right in here. This was just your faster momentum was able to push through here, but the slower momentum is down in here. Yeah, I think what is it? Coinbase. I think Coinbase has gold, right? And I know you can get it on like what the Solana, that Solana exchange that they have. You can get it on that too. That Soul Flare. You can get gold on Soul Flare. You can get stock. You can trade stocks and all that good stuff off of Soul Flare. And then there's BTCC. Okay, Bitcoin playing too much. Let me see this 4 hour. It's amazing how different something will look on one time frame versus the next. But this is resistance for Bitcoin. So, I mean, if it manages to blast up through here and flip this, I would have no words for it. I just feel like this is it though. But I wouldn't have any words for it. If it flips this, then it will be what it will be. I can delete that one now. I'm gonna keep this one on. That was a really good Bitcoin trade though from the other day, and not just the other day, because a lot of people got it from the lower from here. So that was not shabby at all. I should have stopped playing around with it though. I really should have. But come on, Ethereum, and look at it. Look at it. I'm not mad at Ethereum for pushing. I'm just saying, like, I might be enticed to short it up here. I'm not mad at it for pushing because, like I said, I bought off of this candlestick right here. I fell asleep playing around in the market, and then I woke up this morning and I had to add to it down here. So it was actually, yeah, it was down here. Down here, I had to add to it to kind of balance some things out. So I'm no longer sitting in a L. So I'm not mad at it for this move, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Where did we bounce off of? No, it wasn't any of that stuff. And then we lost 200 EMA, which is sitting right here at the moment. And then, okay. Hmm. I mean, MACD and Delta were positive. I don't like it. They did flip in here a little bit. I don't like that. We're at the 21 SMA. And the 15-minute rounded out a lot better. I mean, we can see that here. The 15-minute rounded out a lot better. I did say that the 15-minute looked better, but it just doesn't make sense. Let's see. Let's see, unemployment claims today comes out at 8:30, and then ISM, that's at 10 today. Oh, and 8:15 we have non. That's a Southern coming out again. Non-farm. Employment change. So 8:15 and 8:30. I think we're a little too early for volatility. XAUT, but that's not monitoring forex exchange prices. Okay. Who else is in Bitcoin? I'm just flabbergasted by Ethereum right now. And then we'll look at the rest of the market. Look at the rest of the market. Undo, Undo did pretty good yesterday. I saw where it started to cap out, but Undo did pretty good yesterday. I don't even think I looked at Undo today, but Undo did pretty good. Um, Pith is just something you're gonna have to be patient with. But if you are patient with Pith, I think that daily time frame will give you another opportunity, especially if you were somebody who just saw the pump on Pith and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy it," and yeah, it was the top. So that sucks because it doesn't pump when it really needs to pump. To be honest, but I did. I don't know if I have that over here on this one. Yeah, I do. So remember, I told you I didn't take this. I didn't take it because I just didn't take it. I mean, I haven't bought any new Undo since 2014. The one time I bought it, and I haven't added to it or anything like that. But I bought it last year when it got listed on Coinbase, and I've just been holding on to that little bit, and we haven't done anything yet, so I'm not adding to it. But this was the Undo. Of course, we look back at this. This was the Undo setup because we were looking at price coming back into the midpoint of the fair value gap. This time right here, it didn't tap it that time right there when it had came down. And then it came back in again and tapped it. And we waited on this for quite a bit of time. I didn't think it was ever going to happen. It happened. And it was looking pretty good in here. It did take out, because we talked about this right here, like, hey, it'll take out this part right here. I didn't think it was going to push up as much as it did in here just yet anyway. But it did. It was more successful than Ethereum was. And Ethereum's trying to pump right now. It was much more successful than Ethereum. Like, it was one of few that actually took out a high. It took out the high in here. So this little pullback in here, I would still like for you to come down here. Then maybe I will trade you instead. So I'm gonna delete this. This was the other scenario. Or what did I say I was gonna do about this? I can't remember. Because this was going to be for the head and shoulder. That didn't happen, and then we had all kinds of patterns going on in here. Like, you really just didn't know what was going to happen. We had all kinds of patterns going on. I'm gonna leave it sitting there. I think that's what I said the last time too. I'm just gonna leave it sitting in there. Um, Maybe this came off of this level. I don't like it. I'd rather pull it all the way from the low and see. And so you're trying to hold on in here where you got the bounce away. You tap back into this signal and then you bounce up. So you're trying to hold on in there. And just Undo's been rough. Undo has been rough. Sometimes the golden pocket just doesn't get tapped, right? So you bouncing off of these highs in here. And probably this candle in here is a good, I mean, so you could afford to come in a little bit more here on Undo. And like the last time anybody got excited about Undo, okay, so back over in here. I'm gonna delete these two. I don't know why I still got these on here. but it came up in here and it rejected, and then you finally got to push up and you like, yay, um some sort of a chotch, right? Some sort of a chotch because you were lower high, lower low, lower low, lower high, and then you break, and then you make this move right here, and then what does it do? What does it do? It comes back down and it makes a lower low. So I don't know why Undo is struggling so bad right now, but it is. I don't think I need any of that stuff anymore, so I'm gonna take that off. And then you go lower high. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully this works out though. MACD didn't look. Um, I don't like that. Especially if it doesn't hold in here. So you really got to hold where price was at, which is these highs. So I'm just gonna delete that. Can you come back up? You can. No, I'm not gonna delete it. You can come back up, but let me turn off that 382. I think it's the daily for Undo. That just looks kind of, I don't know, crappy. I looked at where like the cloud was at in here, and it was all the way at the top. No, it wasn't. It must have been on the weekly time frame then. Okay, well, I'm wrong. I don't know what I was looking at. No, that looks good. That actually looks good. Undo's gonna make it. That actually looks good. I think that's what I was looking at on the 4 yesterday, or the 1. No, maybe in the 1 hour. May have been like the 1. I can't remember. It's gone now. Whatever it was, it's over. But it doesn't mean that it won't take time on this thing right here. And Pith, that, as I know people are stuck. People are stuck with this. I was actually trying to see if we really needed to hold this line in here yesterday. This line, I think this may have been like a momentum trend line here off of the weekly, maybe. Yeah, it was. So it's a weekly momentum line in here that I wanted to see Pith hold above. You just back testing the neckline in here right now, whatever this pivot high is in here, but really wanted to see it maintain this trend line right here. So you can see how we started to bounce off of it here, but we couldn't get any strong bounces off of it, off of that momentum line. And so now we've broken down below it, but we are just barely back into here. And I didn't add any levels in here on this. So, I mean, for me, it's still a weekly thing. But on this daily, crappy. So crappy. On this daily, you just have to have some really good patience. Do I not have that in here? I don't have that in here. I am hungry. You know what I had? I had my protein shake this morning. No, it's the 4 hour. Yes, the 4 hour. Forgive me, it's the 4 hour. So you just got to have some patience in here. But the 4 hour is, I don't know if the Bollinger is showing it or not. Hopefully it is. Yeah, it shows a squeeze being built up in here. And usually when it's like this, that's a break to the upside. So you just got to have some real patience in here. Okay, and so it's sitting on standard deviation 1 right now. I'm at 2. Standard deviation 2 right now. I still want to see it hold this right here. But this tends to break to the upside. Now, if it just stays sideways in here, you will continue to fall. And you won't want to touch it until it breaks above the 20 SMA for pith. So no need to be premature with something like this that does this and then does this right behind it. No need to be premature with it. Just allow it to break above the 20 SMA before you touch it. And if it can't hold it, then you let it go. But that, yeah. And this is such a stronger squeeze too, in my opinion. It's a stronger squeeze. You can't tell it here from the Bollinger, like right in here. I would have thought that it would have looked more like this, like below this red line below the midpoint. I don't know if there's any other like like right in here. And so you can just wait. Or even right in here, it just pushed out of the standard deviation 1, back above standard deviation 1 when it got this squeeze right through here. But that dent usually leads to something breaking to the upside when it's like this. So I would be patient with this thing right here and just wait for it to break out. Because like I said, it can keep going sideways too. Sideways and down for a minute before it chooses to do that. That's a nice squeeze on it. On pith. I'm talking. I didn't even show you. I get like that. I'm so sorry. Pith. I got a nice little squeeze down here on the 4-hour time frame. So, and I was just showing you how. God dang it. I always do that. Always do that. It's not a day with me if I don't do it. So it's on standard deviation 2 right now. Got a nice squeeze in here. You can also confirm the squeeze from down here as well. And it's a squeeze that tends to break to the upside, but I wouldn't be premature. Again, I wouldn't be premature with pith. Like you can risk it for the biscuit right here if you want to. And then if it starts to drop it. Drop it. Like you can say, hey, I'm gonna enter a long position right here. But like I said, if it starts to drop it. Because the squeeze can go on for a while if it chooses to. But this is something that 9 out of 10 breaks up. This breaks up. You're sitting at your lows down in here. So this is something that breaks up. And I was explaining you didn't get as strong a squeeze over here, not off of the indicator right here, but you can see it right here. But nonetheless, this stair stepped in. And whenever this stair steps in like this, that's for a push out and up. That's for a break to the upside whenever it pushes in like this. So that's what you got over here in that section right there. And then this is the one that I had just highlighted as I was talking and not on the thing. This is a squeeze like kind of like what we got right now. So you'd be looking forward to, again, whenever it steps down into it like this and you're at your lows in here, you're looking for a Bollinger break to the upside. So that's what you're going to get on Pith. I'm just telling you to be patient with it if you're somebody who's in it, or if you're somebody who bought the top. When you saw this pump, you bought the top, you didn't get out, you got stuck. Your chance to get out is coming up, and don't be ridiculous with it. Get out. Okay, get out. So that's coming. It's just it's a matter of patience on this one right here right now. Like I wouldn't touch it yet, but you can risk it for the biscuit. Like I said, down here off of standard deviation 2 here on the 4-hour time frame. Today might be the day. Today could be the day that you actually see that breakup. How much it gives you, it's going to be a whole nother story. It's going to be a whole nother story. But it's a nice tight squeeze, enough that it should be decent enough to help somebody who got stuck in it get out of it. And like I said, I wanted to see it hold this line in here. We tried for a little while, and that was a weekly momentum line. That was this weekly momentum line in here. So it tried to hold on to that for a minute. It didn't work out. And yeah, lost that. But you're on standard deviation 2 right now. Looking to hold that. All right, I see we got our rejection on Ethereum. So we're getting our little rejection in here again off of ETH. At the 4-hour, I actually see what it was too. I said the 4-hour bounce off of the 20 SMA. That's where that bounce came from, off of the 20 SMA. I was hoping this thing got up in here. I'm telling you, I was going to short it. I said if it pushes up here, I'm going to short it. I'm going to short it because it doesn't make sense. We're not supposed to be beyond here. Not supposed to be beyond this point. And Bitcoin. Which chart am I on? It's supposed to be 15. All right, yeah, we're right. We're right where we're supposed to be at now. So, yeah, Bitcoin. And see, Bitcoin even did the same thing in here, where it got that squeeze in here and that little push up, but still, nonetheless, it was doing the most because, and this is just a 15-minute one right here. You're back at the 20 SMA trying to bounce off of that again. And Ethereum still trying to hold on. For goodness sakes. did you eat? I am so hungry. All right, we got about an hour, 15, no, yeah, hour, 13 minutes or so, something like that before we get our little news, our little news. And let's see what we're looking for. I'm talking about it. All right, so we're looking for at least a 72. Can we get it? Yes, we can. So we're looking for at least a 72 here. And I don't keep up with any of this stuff in here. I just do whatever this open details tells me. That's about as good. That's about as much as I know. Everybody be on here talking about it like we know, like what we're supposed to be looking for. Who's really into this? I'm not. I just do it because it affects my trades. Actual greater than forecast is good for currency, so I want to at least see a 72. It's that simple. Actual less than is good for currency, so make it high. Make it high. No, I don't want to see more people unemployed. I don't. I can't live my life with that. Actual greater than. Make it less. Say less. That was the same thing over here. So actual greater than would have been good, and we got less. So that's how that worked out. So here we want less. Here we want more. But we don't really want people to be unemployed, right? We don't really want unemployment claims to be going up. Like, we're compassionate people. And then here we want less. It's sad that we have to, it's sad. I remember the first time I actually saw that in history. Like, it made no sense to me. I really need to see somebody suffer in order to make more money. I mean, it all depends on what you're doing to make your money, but I really have to see somebody suffering, somebody struggling. It's not a good feeling, but that's what we need. That's what we need. I took a long on NVIDIA yesterday. I hope it works out. I have been building a position because I have a choice with Circle, which is driving me absolutely bonkers. Because it continues to nuke, but it is where, you know, the levels expected for it to hit. I mean, it's there. Like, for what, over a month now, people been waiting on that 105. Now I haven't seen 105 unless it happened after hours or something like that. And at this point, I could probably even adjust this thing with Circle. Like, this is disgusting. And I told you a while back, and we were right in here. We were right in here. I said, I'm not gonna buy this. Like, this isn't something I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna wait for it to at least get into here and then in here. So I actually got my toes wet, which is what I posted a while back. I'm gonna get my toes wet once we get into here. So we came into here and I bought some, and it has been the one that I've had to continue to buy. But I knew that. That's why I said I just get my toes wet in here, and then ultimately I know a lot of people waiting on this 105. Waiting on this 105. We're somewhere right in here now, around our 118. But This is what a lot of people are waiting on. And I probably should have just sat on my hands and waited for us to get into this, just because so many other people have that expectation of it coming into this 105. I didn't do that. So I've just had to keep buying and keep buying and keep buying and keep buying and keep buying. And a girl can only buy so much. It has taken over my portfolio at this point. But that circle, a 4 hour. Lord, please let this thing pump. Please let it pump. That's all I'm thinking. Let it pump. And then you got coin, which is a great indicator for Biddy, but we still been tagging out right here. We still been holding on to stretch these out now. Yeah. We still been tagging around here at this top side in here of this level. Now coin, I am only going to buy some more. If Circle don't take all my money, then I have room for coin. But Circle at this point is drowning out what I do have for my exchange. So we'll see. And I will sell some stuff to buy some more coin. And I don't mean me. I don't mean me. I mean like pieces that I have of, things like that. That kind of stuff. I'm over explaining and sounding ridiculous as crap. All right. I have never been so hungry in a minute. I woke up this morning, my eyes actually swollen. I've never seen a puff bag on my eye before. Ever. I don't know what's going on. I know I didn't get much sleep last night. I know that much is true. All right. So in other news, we still have this little small, like you can't really. I don't even know how important this is in here. Like it's barely anything to this right here. Like you really got to put this on a 1 hour time frame a 15-minute time frame to even see it. So I don't know. It's not like Bitcoin's gap, Ethereum. This little thing up here. 'Cause if I slide this out of the way, you don't really see much. Like you see it from here to here. It looks a little different on the 15-minute time frame, which is why it looks like it's up here. That's why it's up there like that. But this little small, and we talked about this. We had actually talked about this, and I said it was probably an exhaustion gap, but it wasn't large enough to be an exhaustion gap. And I was like, you usually don't come back and fill in those gaps too fast because they're exhaustion gaps. They happen at the top. But We're trying to hold support in here right now on Ethereum, around where this gap is in here, this old gap, because sometimes they will also act as support. So that's the max that we did. But I would love this. I mean, I would love if that was possible. And one for Bitcoin is different. Of course, you can clearly see Bitcoin's gap up here. We didn't even come close to getting inside of it yesterday. And then we're back below this older gap in here. So unlike Ethereum, we're actually below. We've even come back up and back tested it. It seems today. So that last candle, it did back test into here and reject. May this gap get filled. That's all I can say. May this gap be filled. And Ethereum back up there again. Yeah, let us fill this gap. That would be great. And then in terms of, let's see how I want to do this. In terms of Bitcoin dominance and whatnot, we had the channel. I mean, you could always do your fast breaking trend line, which if I put this on a weekly, it makes more sense. So on the weekly, we're still hanging out around the 20 SMA. That's as much as we've done so far. We're still hanging around the 20 SMA. And I don't know if anything in here actually changed. Probably. So it's not the weekly. What is it, a monthly? Yeah. So it's the monthly. And let me use, because this moved now. I'm gonna move this. And I'm gonna see what else actually changed. Because we're not squeezing enough in there. Okay, so it totally, hold on. Yeah, so we're still close, too close to this 20 SMA for my liking to say that we've cleared that we're coming down into here just yet. Because we're still hanging out around it. And these are still going up. Starting to flatten out a little bit at here at the top side, but yeah, we're still holding the mean of everything right now. So like we haven't even broken the mean of anything on the monthly time frame anyway. So still above your 50 here on the RSI, still above your 0 here. The MACD is anyway. The delta is kind of hanging out around it. The zero line in here. Hmm. Yeah, so you can see how we're around that 20 right there. So until we lose this mean, I mean, we really gotta lose it, lose it. And this is a good example of what I was saying about pith, because a squeeze can go on for a while. I said, sometimes you don't need to be premature. A squeeze can go on for a while before it actually breaks. And when this is coming up, you're looking for it to break down, which is what you got, but nonetheless, still just at the mean. But when this is breaking down, you're looking for it to push up, and then it just rolled. Yeah. So I don't know. Dominance isn't completely dead just yet here for Bitcoin. Not until we stop. Not until we leave. Like, we're not really in bullish control zone anymore, but we're not. We're in neutral. We're neutral. Bitcoin dominance, and then Ethereum's. I don't have anything laid out over here on Ethereum. Nothing whatsoever. But dominance on Ethereum has dropped still, nonetheless, quite a bit. I probably would have did this like that. I probably wouldn't have looked at that, to be honest. I probably would have been looking at this one. I got a little small inverse head and shoulders in here. I'm gonna move this. Whatever we were breaking in here, we did that already. That doesn't look right. Anyway, I don't think anybody really cares about Ethereum dominance. VIX. Getting a little bit of gap support here off of the VIX. But when I tell you we called this VIX, and I say we, because if you here with me, you was in it to win it with me. When I tell you we called this VIX pump way back when, saying, hey, VIX is gonna pump, like, well in advance. I still wasn't prepared. I still was not prepared. USDT dominance. Still trying to see if we can't do this. I know what that means for Biddy. But USDT dominance is it's just kind of consolidating in here, just holding out. It's not looking crappy. Not really. I mean, I drew this differently before, which is why this arrow doesn't match up with what the measure move for this would be if this is actually a breakout on USDT dominance. I mean, because even if I just did the center, even if I just did the center, I would push it in a lot more. You would at least be looking for that to hit this point in here, at least. So we'll see. We'll see. This is a failed breakout or what? What's happening in here with USDT dominance? Maybe. We just keep on pumping until we break, until we actually lose. Like we gotta lose this right here. It might be all we get though. It's a fail, really. It might be. I mean, if I think that Bitcoin is gonna still hit 130 at the least, I think that Bitcoin could still hit 130. But on the worst side, and I told you that this morning, I think we could hit somewhere between that 95 and 85. It just seems likely. On the worst side. The worst would be 35. But increasing dominance. Okay. And I actually haven't looked at that. I should take a look at that. Solana versus Ethereum. You can see we started rejecting up here again. Like this is the second rejection point in here for Solana versus ETH. I still think that we're in a great space in here, anywhere between these red ones right here, for Solana to start to perform better against Ethereum. Now, if we start to lose, anywhere between this red, and that'll be different. But I think just in here in general, this is just a great place for Sol to try to find its ground. But again, a second rejection right here on the weekly. And crypto's open 24/7, so we still have the rest of the week to go. Maybe I should look at total 3 instead. I mean, Total 2 has done basically what we've been looking at in here. This may not be here anymore for if that were to ever take place. And I haven't actually measured anything else out in here in terms of where I think price action could actually go to. Because we're beyond this point in here now. I haven't looked at it in a minute. The last time I looked at it, we were talking about the squeeze in here. Yeah, we were in here talking about the squeeze. But it looks like we're about to get to a point to where I don't know what it's going to be, but something's going to give in here a little bit. Lead, in my opinion, alt, ETH, alt, total dump, BTC last. Okay, so you're saying alts and then ETH and then alts again, or Ethereum alts, um, everything, all of those altcoins drop, and then BTC gets his last leg up. Now the weekly for Bitcoin doesn't look good. The weekly for Bitcoin, okay, so we did hit this. What did I have in here? I was looking at a range. I haven't looked at this stuff in forever. I mean, it looks exactly like Total 2 anyway. Same broadening formation in here. I can tell you one thing I see in here. I guess that kind of makes sense. We're not closing above the wicks. I mean, it doesn't have to mean anything. I'm just noticing that we're not closing above. And that can lead to a rollover. It's a monthly time frame. Let me zoom out. Okay. I think we have the altcoins that I'm looking at right now, they really haven't done anything. And it's just stuff like and I know a lot of people are trashing on DOT. And I get it. I totally get it. But like your DOT and your AVAX and NEAR and I mean, so many. It's so many right now that are just sitting there waiting to get a pump, and it just hasn't happened yet. I think that's when Sui will start back pumping again, and then Solana might. I just don't like when Solana dominance creeps up though. It would be nice if it dragged Tia up. That's some trash. Yeah, this looks a lot like total. No, total two. I guess because Ethereum's in there, it's a little bit different. But without Ethereum, this still isn't performing too bad. I heard an argument yesterday about yeah, all-time high is not in for large caps. Yeah, yeah. Because I don't think that that's it for. I don't think that that's it for Ethereum. I just don't. I don't think that. I don't know. Maybe it does push through. Maybe this. Maybe the rate cut or whatever will drive it up to hit. But my target is 9,000. Maybe that will drive prices up for Ethereum. At the moment, I just feel like it's just at a place where it just might need to consolidate a little bit longer before it actually gets a breakout. I don't like the higher time frame chart for Ethereum, but because I think that if it does manage to push through on the higher time frame, and you get the nastiest wick of your life left on that chart, and yeah, 2000, here we come. We will fill that second gap on Ethereum, which is down around the 2000 marker. I definitely don't think that Solana's there. Like Solana's performance, it was good overall, coming from the bear market into when Bitcoin started pumping off of the 15,000, and so it has performed really well. It's hard to see it in hindsight because it hasn't really done too much here lately. The last drop Solana had got was like into like um 9 no 95 $95 I think it was for Sol. And then let me just see what the dominance itself looks like for Sol. Okay, so you're starting to break market structure here on your dominance as well. You did break market structure here on the dominance on the weekly. But I haven't even looked at DXY. I don't even look at this anymore. God dang, is this what they doing to the DXY? To the Dixie? Really? I think this was like last year. Last year I posted on the DXY, and I was like, it usually takes so many more days before you even see an actual break on this thing. And so far, what's today's date? Let me just slide this out here. I may have taken that too far right here. 973 days. You usually need a lot more. Usually need a lot more time. Even that was 294 bars. That's 357. That's only 139. So it'll take some time before you actually see a strong push up here on the DXY. What was I saying? I was saying Solana. I think the last actual good drop Sol got was back here, and yeah, it was 95. It was 95. And if you look at it like that, then I mean, Even if you were someone who didn't get it down here, if you were someone who didn't buy it in here, that was your, that's still been a great run. We're just stalling out for whatever reason. And we just keep struggling around this 207. No closures above this 207 so far. And this is from the weekly. Like, we've broken up into it, but we've had 0 closures above it so far. And I don't really understand. I still don't understand why I mean, I can see how we struggled in here before too. Right in here. Maybe right here another time. And then this. I mean, if we can make it. But this is like the most chop I've ever seen for soul. Like, you don't have like these nice candles over here like you got in here. Got these nice candles over in here. Like, this is like the choppiest. The choppiest. Even back in here, like, these beautiful candles. And we just haven't been able to do that anymore. Even volume is not even the same anymore. And how is this our largest spike in volume? This red candle right here is our largest spike in volume since back here. Yeah, Chainlink is a good chart. It's just talking about, it is still in the bullish control zone for Chainlink right now, despite whatever bear divs we've been seeing. I feel you on that 37. I got a little line in here that I'm looking for. Like, these two were my targets for Chainlink, this one and this one. But if we do start to, if we do see us able to push up past the zone right here, then I am looking at this 40 right here. And then I got a 45 right here, and then I got a 52 right in here. And I think everything else for Chainlink, I don't think I have anything else in here for Chainlink. I don't have anything else in here for Chainlink. I may. Okay, yeah, if we do this right here, then we on another level. But yeah, I am looking. I'm looking for 31 next. Somewhere between this 31 and 32. I like your idea though, 37. So that's more so somewhere around in here. The Chainlink has to hold this 21,432. At least from what we were looking at this morning. We'll want to see it hold that. There was actually, some decent volume on that candle down, but It's definitely up and up. But we lose this, we definitely gonna roll. Definitely can roll down, and I think it's this one on the daily. We lose this on the daily. We lose this on the weekly, but we lose this on the daily. I mean, that's all we really got to talk about. Losing this on the daily time frame, and maybe we could come back down here into this golden pocket. That's 18 to this golden pocket in here. I mean, there's a daily level in here too. So the 20 SMA on the weekly, I think it lines up right here with this daily right here. Look at this decline in volume. Zoom way out. Am I zoom in? Best freaking accumulation zone right there. Look at that. Best freaking accumulation. I knew that was going to happen as soon as I did that. Best accumulation zone. All down through here. It's a bear div on the 3 week. Not that it has to be relevant. When you got that bear div in here, you got a drop. And now you got another bear div in here. So far, 16. I don't know. Like I said, we gotta hold that. We just gotta hold that one level. Be real. Gotta hold that 21. Without that 21, we could come in first. We could be rounding out. Yeah, we could be rounding out. Let me jump back on Bitcoin. Um, all right, we're getting closer and closer to that little news coming out. See how that affects the market. Ethereum still putting in wicks over here. And then not a wick, that's a drop. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a drop. It's chopping. So I'm looking at the I mean, this off the 15-minute, you can't really tell it just on the 1 hour. The wickety wicks in here. But we keep wrestling with this level in here, which again just doesn't make a lot of sense for me. Yeah, 15-minute look like we could be getting ready to roll back down here again anyway. Pendle is back up 2.7%. Way to go, Pendle. My new friend. Can't tell it from here. Doesn't look like I'm gonna get that. Not gonna chase it either. It's over. A little bear flag here on ADA. They're gonna nuke us today. They're probably gonna nuke us today. I keep saying that. I need to stop saying that. I'm just so scared that they're gonna nuke us today. I don't care what this data is gonna look like. All right, now we got a bunch of red everywhere. Red. Bitcoin. I don't really like Ethereum's heat map. I don't like it. Let's see. ETH. I figure we could look at it from the this is from the weekly right here on Ethereum. You can see we got some really nice liquidity sitting up around in here, and then down here at this 42, that's gonna be where that golden pocket 786 is located at on the chart over here. I had that. Actually, probably it's a little lower than that 786 to be honest. That's 42.16. Then you got all of this up here. In the last 24 hours. It's 43.26. 44.50. I don't know, like yeah, that's some good liquidity overhead here for Ethereum. I just don't know that we get there first. I mean, the chart suggests that we shouldn't, but maybe we will. $110. Yeah, all of that little double bottom liquidity down here for Bitcoin. That's below what I'm looking for Bitcoin, but that's where liquidity is. That's where it is. Hmm. I think we will go down. We're about to find something out here in just a few minutes, but I do think that we will go down. And that was all I had to look for. Yeah, I mean that was it. We back tested what I thought that we could back test in here for Bitcoin, and now the 4 hour for Bitcoin did just push above. This isn't bad, but can we hold it? Can we hold it? If we can hold it, then we have a chance. If we can't hold it, then this is what I'm looking at, and that actually is pretty hits pretty good with this over here. If we start to hit this low again, then that's a problem. Yeah, you can get a momentum shift if you can hold right here. You just gotta be able to hold above here. Can't hold above here, then no momentum shift and just a continuation down. And again, I'm looking in here. Um, we saw in the heat map that we would be looking somewhere back down in here to this one right here. But like I said, if we're not holding, like really want to bounce off of here, you're below any sort of momentum period. I mean, just period. Like this is not the same as when we got that pump up. Like it's completely different now. So you lose all momentum coming back down here. All of it. Like it's already dire in here. And I heard somebody say that they were not gonna, they had no stop loss set for this right here. If it came back down into here, I hope it works. I hope it does, but you lose all momentum. Just not being able to hold in here, honestly. Even I would have to cut my Ethereum position. Yeah, for Bitcoin. Yeah, genius. I'm saying that we need to hold. If we can hold in here, then that's great. Um, if we can hold in here, just based on the 4 hour time frame. If we're not holding in here, then this is like the I don't know. This is the line in the sand for me in here, because I can see that if we're not, like if we're coming back down here to this line, even just this one right here, like we're underneath any sort of positive momentum that we could have possibly had if we were to come back in here and back test and not be able to hold these highs in here. And this time we'd be doing something completely different. Just coming back into here would be like something completely different than what it was over in here. In here it was different when we got this little pump up right here. It was, the structure was different throughout here. What's your thoughts on your top for Bitcoin for, let's just say that we do still have the 4 year cycle. What would you say would be your top right now? I'm still looking at 130. I mean, if we could get there, but the weekly time frame doesn't look good for me. And this is about the only thing that makes it possible, in my opinion, is the fact that this, like if we were trying to do 130 now, that it probably wouldn't happen. I don't know. Maybe if we based it off of this, it could. but we've just had perfect rejections off of this line. And I've seen people draw it differently. With this one, I didn't feel like I needed to. It's been perfect rejections off of it. $137. Okay. So close. I think it was this. No, it wasn't this monthly. That's money flow right here. That's something that I shared a few times in here too. Like whenever money flow hits in here, this turns into green. You usually see a pullback, and it just happened to be in line with this up here. So really, it has nothing to do with that. I would say it's just the resistance level in here, and I don't like this weekly chart whatsoever. And you see that monthly, we got a cloud cover right here, and we just push back into that too. That's kind of like, I mean, not exactly in here. This one didn't come up as far. This cloud cover in here, it didn't actually tap it. I mean, this is kind of, I don't know. $124. One, two. All right, data coming up. All right, Bitcoin so far, looks like it's gonna hold that momentum so far. Two minutes, 20 seconds. Lord, are they gonna send us down? Oh no, I'm getting butterflies. I'm not even in Bitcoin right now. I'm getting butterflies. I don't know. Bitcoin chart gonna do what Bitcoin chart's gonna do. If it dropped, then I mean, it's not like it's not sitting somewhere around that 20 SMA anyway. Like, it looks like they want to send us down. Look at us, 4.50. I haven't looked at GBP in a minute, but it was doing good the last time I saw it. And the euro, they were both looking good. Give us our number, please. What is the Challenger jobs cuts? It's still holding. I hate how it does that. Look at that. Good Lord. Okay, so 54K. I have nothing. I have no talking point on it. All I know is that that's in our favor. It didn't do anything. It really didn't do anything. I guess the market's going to wait on unemployment claims next or whatever, which seems to be every week at this point. Yeah. No smoke and mirrors. They're going to send us down. That's all I keep thinking. But anyway, yeah, that's nasty. That's nasty. I don't know how we went from, I don't know, to they lie. No inflation. They lie. Like if you're a working class person, you know inflation. You don't need somebody to tell you. But 54K, huh? We got nothing. Got no reaction. Ethereum, no reaction. The rest of the crypto space, let's see. These bubbles still red. The bubbles are still red, people. And they will send us down. All right. With that said, I do have to get out of here now. Actually, I'm gonna wait on unemployment claims. 8:30. Yeah, wait on unemployment. And that's all I can say I'm looking for. If we can hold in here, then maybe Bitcoin's 4 hour momentum can shift back up. You come back up this trend line right here or back up above. Let's see the weekly here, which is at 111, 296. Can't do that. And for me, like this is just it right here for me. Like I don't see a reason why I wanna play with it beyond this point. You can't come back in and use this as support. Can't flip it to support, then might be a problem. And that would be really cute though. Cute as in will it play out? Cute. And sometimes it don't even be that and be sitting here looking at something. Let's see if we got any volume confirmation because maybe. Maybe. So just that one more number. Ethereum with the red candle. Yeah, everything is seeing a slap in the face right now. With the exception of, you know what, Crow, I noticed, it looks like this is a little bit bear flag on it too. But one thing I noticed about Crow is if Bitcoin and Ethereum start to get a pullback, Crow will pump. Like you can tell when it's in its element and it's gonna actually maybe outperform the rest of the market in some sense. But it do still do like those 50 to 70% pullbacks. It still does those. We'll see if this time is different, but nothing, yeah, everything is the red candles all across the board. Ooh, who did this to H bar and when? The last 15 minutes that happened? All right. Dang. And this is just 15-minute chart too, people. I'm just trying to see how hammered we gonna get. I don't like how they did my H bar though. Just bought some. I just bought some more on spot this time. And I hate when I buy stuff on spot. I hate when I buy stuff on spot because I'm likely to not sell it. I'm likely to not put a stop on it and care. Well, some stuff look like it's getting treated worse than others. So yeah, Crow. She can't be mad at Ethereum. And yeah, Crow. Yeah, Crow is something else. It's been fun chatting with you too. I appreciate you so much. Oh man. I don't want to get left behind on Crow because it's hard to know what it's gonna do when it's gonna do it, because it does it stalls out. This is nice up here. I like this top up here, and we build up some nice liquidity in here on Crow too. Like, how do you not come back for this? I don't know if this is a bear flag in here or not, though. Yeah, Ethereum. I mean, 15 minutes, they showing that we could be getting that move down. It was just like this in here yesterday, just like this. Like it just, people kept trying to short in here, and Ethereum kept doing crazy shit. And then my behind, I already told you, and here trying to long the top. Like, yay, let's have fun in this range. That's all I was thinking. Let's have some fun in here. And then I fell asleep. Like I was knocked out. I woke up and I had some fun. I had some fun for sure. Seeing it drop all the way down into here, fell asleep, and I didn't set a stop loss. I set stop loss throughout this entire portion in here, and I kept winning those trades in here. And you know how you get that feeling like you just invincible at some point, and then yeah, I was out. I was knocked out. All it takes is one time. I got like 5 minutes for this unemployment claim now. 4. I flip us over there so we can see that number next once we get close enough. We did that same little number in here. Chop, 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 and break down. Chop, 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 and break down. Chop, 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 and break down probably. Yeah. It's too late for me though. It's too late for me. I mean, I can always cut the loss right now. And it won't be that bad, especially where we're sitting at right now. But I'm barely, I'm barely down. Yeah, I'm barely down right now. So I could actually cut it. I probably should. Yeah. But Ethereum got, let's see. And it is this one right here. Same thing as Bitcoin, but this one was the first one. This is the second one. This is actually the one. I knew all that was going to come back open. And take away this 382. All right, let me get this data and then I'm going to be peace out. Peace out. Let's see what this looks like. Are we going to make it? Still pending. Why are we still pending though? Ooh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Wow. Poly market having a field day right now. Poly market is having a field day right now. Over 100%. These numbers seem so fluffed. I'm sorry. They just seem so fluffed. I don't know. I don't know. It's like a huge shift from, I don't know. I don't know. It's not adding up to me. It's not adding up to me. Genius. So what had happened was, yeah, I was scalping Ethereum last night at the top. I went to sleep. I didn't set the stop loss on that one, and I woke up and it dropped. Now I did add to the trade, so that brought my average cost down. But yeah, yeah, I knew better. I knew better. I was just in one of my moods, and so yeah, I got the cost down though. Because I didn't buy that much to start with when I was playing around with it. However, you know, like I said, I can still cut it right now and it wouldn't affect anything. Like it would be very minor. Very minor. Because I'm scared. I do think, I mean, I don't want to, I mean, we going down. We're going to go down. I should have just cut it when I was talking. Once it got that little push up, I should have cut it then, and I'd have been, I would have had a zero loss. But uh, yeah, I was long in the top. And now they finna send us down. Now they're gonna send us down, likely. They let us pump like 2 days off of data, so yeah, today is gonna be different. Yeah, I'm gonna cut it though. I'm gonna cut it right here. I should have been did it. All right, so take my little L. But anyway, thank you all for stopping by today to hang out with your girl down to Crypto TA. I really appreciate you so much. I'll be back at 5 o'clock in the morning. Unless something crazy happens, you never know. Something crazy might happen. We don't have our next data coming out until 10. But it looks like today could be a down day for us. I don't know. Maybe we pumped what, 2 days? 2 days now? Tuesday and Wednesday. So today could be a down day. It's Thursday. A lot of money starts leaving the market on Thursdays, and we really didn't have too many days to play around with because Monday was Labor Day. So, yeah, just Tuesday and Wednesday, really. And so that's going to do it. Ethereum, if you can't hold in here, and I don't know. It shouldn't have been able to push up past this. I already said that in the beginning. Like right in here was just like the cap out right here for Ethereum. I didn't see it being able to flip that resistance that was in here. And yeah, now I'm trying to say if we can just hold. Yeah, forget that. I'm gonna look down here for the golden pocket. Um, ugh. I'm gonna look for this right here, just this top side in here, and see what we do in here. Overall, it ain't bad. Just it's just showing that we would sell. Once we take out, let me see. Actually, on the 4 hour, I can see it a lot better. Once we take out this right here, maybe there's a chance. This really isn't the best place for price to come back to. The golden pocket really isn't. It really, really isn't. Like you want to see a reaction like this right here, because otherwise it'll be a problem. Be problematic, if we did that. And you can always move this to like this, and this would make more sense in terms of what price action would need to actually be able to sustain. It's sustainable at this one. It's not so sustainable if it comes back into the top side of this 4 hour range in here. daily range in here for Ethereum. It's not as sustainable in here if this doesn't maintain. So that's just what I'll be watching here. I usually don't play around with Ethereum, but I'm interested in it today. I don't know, just yesterday and today I just felt like it. And so that might have been my cue to leave Ethereum alone and stick to Bitcoin. I don't feel like I can go wrong with Bitcoin, but I can go wrong with some altcoins, that's for sure. So with that said, I see you at 5 o'clock in the morning. You are so appreciated. Next time. Bye. And